I'm going to be showing you how to install a Cat 5 wall jack to the cable. So I have this fancy tool, but I'm really not going to be using any of it. I'm really just using it so that I can cut and strip the wire. You could use other just wire strippers. Now this is a nice tool if you're working on the other end. If you're trying to build the connector that plugs into this jack, then it's really important to have a tool that can crimp all of the wires into the plastic piece. But we're not working on that side, we're working on the other side. On this one, it just has these little slots where we can push the wire down into, and then whenever we put the plastic on, it will crush the wires farther down into the slots where they'll make contact with the metal. So all we have to do is clean this up and strip the wires. I'm actually just going to cut all of them off because this is kind of an old, well, actually you can see this blue one's just barely dangling. So I just want to get rid of all this stuff out here and kind of do a restart. Then I'll take it back, you know, 1.5 inches, and just try to be careful not to cut anything beyond the outer insulation, of course. Okay, I actually do see a little bit of damage to those, so I am going to restart because these wires are really finicky, and if you do it wrong, you know, if just one wire is not making connection properly, the whole thing is useless. Okay, let's look at this one. I don't see any damage on this one, so we should be good to continue. We could separate it into these 4 strands. Each one of these is actually 2 wires twisted together. So the way that they color code these is there's a solid color twisted together with a striped color. So we have brown and white striped brown, blue, white striped blue, and so on. We don't actually have to know, you know, what each of these wires are used for, because it's all color coded for us. So this wire is supposed to be brown, and then striped brown, and then in order to, alright, so the brown and the blue are pretty obvious, but here they have an A and a B, so you have to know whether you're making an A end or a B end. There are 2 different standards for wiring the Cat 5 cable, A and B, and they both work the same. You know, one's not faster than the other or anything. It's just that you have to be consistent that all of the cable in your house needs to be either A or B. They don't mix. This house is wired with B, and so that's what I'm going to be using. So just to be clear, all the cabling is the same there's not A and B cabling. It just has to do with which location you put into the connector. Once you start wiring a house A, you have to do all of your connectors A. Or if you do your first one as B, the rest have to also be B, otherwise they won't communicate with each other. So you have to pick one and go with it. I checked one of the connectors in another room because I wasn't sure, and it was wired B. So I'm going to wire this one B as well. So that means that when it comes to doing the green and orange up here in the top, this one we're looking at the B column, so that should be green solid, green striped, and on the bottom orange striped, orange solid. I can start with the blue and brown though, because those ones only go one way. So when I'm wiring these, I will put the wires facing the inside. Oops, that one goes solid. On the inside, they don't have to be pressed all the way down yet. That'll happen when we press the plastic top on. Alright, so this next one is brown solid. I know it may be hard to see what I'm doing because of all the different color coding. It's all on the connector, so you'll just, if you're doing this yourself, you'll just have to look and see what the connector says. And the connector you have might actually look a little bit different, so you'll just have to look at whatever yours says. Alright, so now I'm going to do this top row using B, and the B column says it should be solid green. And that means that the one beside it is striped green. Okay, and now straight below it is orange according to the B column, and beside it is orange stripe. So now I have all of the connectors, or all of the wires, in their right location. I just want to double check everything. Easy to fix it now. And I am saying we're good. So now we can slide the plastic piece over and just give it a good solid press. We have to get all the wires to slide farther down so that they make true electrical contact. Okay, that side's going in. Just about there. You can see that the plastic is almost totally resting all the way down. Alright, I'm going to call that good. The next step is to connect a Ethernet wire from the switch, which is providing internet, and we're going to run it upstairs. So actually we have all of them broken out and labeled on this box here. So behind each of these there's a wire that runs somewhere, and you can see there's a lot of them are unused, so that probably just means that there are other Ethernet boxes that haven't been tapped into yet with a connector, but there are a couple that are being used in some of the bedrooms and such. So we'll just branch off of our switch and then It's nice that they're all labeled so I know which one goes where. And now we can go upstairs, and the entire connection from the switch all the way to the box should be established, and we should be able to test that we're getting internet. To test that you have internet connection, of course there's a number of ways. You could just plug this into your laptop and see what kind of signal you're getting. I'm going to test it with, I have this little box back here. Whoops, this is just a Wi-Fi extender that I bought on Amazon, and it has lights that will light up if it's getting Ethernet connection. So that should make for a simple test. I could plug that guy in. I'll let it boot up just to show that the bottom two lights are not lit up. And that means, of course, there's nothing plugged in. And then when I plug that in, now the bottom two lights have started blinking. And so I know that it's working. Now that the Wi-Fi extender is plugged in, it's working, and I'm hooked up to Wi-Fi, so we should have better signal in this room. That's pretty cool. Hope this video was helpful, and thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.